Today we will be going on a journey, on a new journey, trying to see and pursue Indian flavor French cuisine, which my favorite chef Raji Jallepalli from Memphis actually. She was a great chef who tried to fuse, basically, she tried to get French and Indian flavors together. And I was one of these unfortunate people who could not actually taste the food when she was alive. And I have actually visited her restaurant. And this restaurant was in Memphis, a small town in Tennessee, and it was a small place. It was actually her home, and her home, which was an old antique-looking home with a huge tree in front of the tree home, and I would say I visited this place almost exactly 20 years ago. And my experience was that it was a nice upscale restaurant where Bill Clinton and a lot of these celebrities had their brunches, breakfasts, and dinners and lunches. And so it was one of the famous restaurants. And I did not know much back then, in like around 2000, I would say. I went to visit my brother in Memphis, and he insisted we go to Raji's restaurant, Raji Jallepalli. My One of my favorite chefs who I couldn't enjoy, and spent my time with her. Why? Because back then I visited her, but I did not get a chance to taste her food. So my series right now will be all about her and her cuisine, how she tried to fuse both the flavors of India and France, and how she became passionate, and how I am paying a tribute to her by going through her recipes one by one and showing it to you all how to make simple things with very simple ingredients. So I hope you all enjoy this, and come back and see what I'm cooking every day from her book. And I want to start with the dessert in an Indian traditional way. And I will tell one by one the stories that I have gone through, and overcome. And exactly 20 years later, I'm in a position um, to go through her recipes. And it's interesting how I liked her so much back then without even tasting her food. And I finally, after all these years, got her recipe book into my home just recently. That I would say would be yesterday. I was like this little kid who got this fairy tale book in her hand. So I hope you enjoy my journey with Raji Jallepalli, and I hope you enjoyed the recipes and make it part of your recipes. And welcome to Siri's Raji's Cuisine. Again, this is my first time preparing all of Raji's dishes. So I started with coconut rice pudding. Our ingredients for coconut rice pudding: rice 1/3 cup, nicely washed, 5 cups of milk, 1 cup of coconut milk, nuts, 1 cup, so half cup pistachio or 1 cup pistachio, and half cup almonds or 1 cup almonds, it's up to you. Half spoon of Kewra essence, 1 tablespoon of elaichi powder, cardamom powder, few strings of saffron, fresh coconut, half cup of sugar. We'll start the stove in low to medium flame and take a thick bottom pot To this, add 2 cups of milk. And let it boil. To this, add washed rice, the 1/3 cup of washed rice, and 1 cup of coconut milk. And bring this whole mixture to boil on a medium heat and frequently keep stirring and let it cook for 30 minutes or till all of this milk is evaporated and the rice is nicely cooked. So we will let this come to boil and we will watch this and stirring it occasionally to make sure nothing is going to get stuck at the bottom. Almost 15 minutes has passed. The milk is slowly evaporating and you see it is becoming thicker. And let's wait for another 10 minutes and wait for the milk to be evaporated to add the remaining ingredients. Almost 20 minutes into cooking, the milk has completely evaporated. So now we are going to add the remainder milk, sugar, cardamom and saffron. So I'm going to add the saffron sticks. And then cardamom, the sugar, and the remainder of milk. So we're going to mix this well and let it cook for an hour on low flame till all of this comes very close, just like what we had before. So we will wait for all of this milk to evaporate and let this cook in so it blends in well. So we will let this cook on low flame for an hour till this all comes very close and it becomes like a pudding. As you see, it's almost halfway through. We are 30 minutes into cooking this and I've been stirring it frequently so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And we are going to wait for it to come even more closer. It's another 20 minutes to finish. We are almost there. Another couple of minutes and we should be good. It's like you are ready to pour. Now add to this our pistachios, coconut and Screwpine essence, which is nothing but Kewra sauce. So we added coconut, our pistachios and this essence. We are mixing it. As mentioned, you can add some almonds in case you want more nuts or more. Mix it for another 5 minutes. Let it cook, finish it. And then you can easily take this into your serving dish and put in the fridge. Cover it with the light lid. Keep mixing for another 5 minutes till it blends in and the pistachio and the essence is completely mixed. And you can put it in your serving dish and let it cool for 2 hours in your refrigerator. And this dish is served cold with some nuts garnish and or coconut flakes on top. So we will let this cook for another couple of minutes and then we'll switch off the stove, put it in a serving bowl and let it cool for 2 hours in our refrigerator. We are almost done. I am switching off the stove and going to let it cool for some time before I put into my serving bowl, and keeping it in the refrigerator for 2 hours to cool. The pudding has cooled off. I put them into serving dishes. Now this is going to go into the refrigerator for 2 hours before serving. Our yummy coconut rice pudding is ready to be served. I garnished it with a little bit of pistachio and some roasted coconut. Raji Jallepalli was born in 1949 in Hyderabad, and her dad was a diplomat for Andhra Pradesh, so he got to travel to Europe quite a bit, and she got to travel with him. Later on, she came to New York with her husband, and was in the medical line. She was in the medical line, helping her husband with the office and all of the duties in the office. And she was more in the medicine line and not even close to anything like a chef. So once they moved to Memphis, she slowly opened a restaurant in 1989 called East India Company, in which the menu was more like a curry oriented, or it was more like the with lots of curry. Later on in 1992, she changed the whole menu into a French and Indian fusion cuisine, and changed the restaurant name to Raji's. She was awarded several James Beard awards for the in the South category, and was also called the Queen of Spices. So this is my small tribute to Raji and her dishes, so that everybody can know more about Raji, and we all can make her alive through these recipes that we are building. My little effort and to pay my tribute to Raji Jallepalli.